Hi guys, it's Jan 13, the official start of the earnings season for this Q1 2023. Meanwhile, junk stocks are rallying, requiring caution. Let's discuss what would happen in this volatile January. All right, let's begin. Okay, for those watching, thank you for subscribing. This is a free Friday class, and you can always tune in every Friday for the Awesome 10X Free Friday, Awesome 10X Global Investing classes. All right, let's begin. Earnings seasons is starting. You've got junk stocks rallying. Let's first take a look at how huge these rallies have been, which actually requires caution. The last time we saw meme stocks rallying like Bed Bath and Beyond, it actually signaled quite a toppish move, which was very nasty 2 months after. So required caution. Let's take a look first how wild the movements are. You can see that this defunct crypto exchange, which is Backed Holdings, was up 94% in a single day. You can see that went from a low of $1.35 to as high as $2.87 last night. After hours, you're already seeing some significant declines, but basically Back Holdings is up 100% in just a single week, up 130% year to date. And we're talking simply, if we're talking about year to date, we're talking about less than 2 weeks here. Bed Bath and Beyond actually is up 300% for the week, up 100% year to date. Bed Bath and Beyond was going from $1.25 to $5 and is still running pretty hot. It reminds you how hot the GME craze was. You can see that the movements of crypto-linked miners were often also going up last night. Bitfarms, Argo Blockchain, Mara, Hut, these are rallying 20, 30, 40, 50% in a single day. Meanwhile, if you take a look at the monthly move, Argo Blockchain went 205%, Bitfarms in just a single month, or even if you just take a look in a single week, these are some magnitude moves that are actually reminiscent of bear market rallies, guys. So be careful about these things. These things are not necessarily the type of stocks that will lead us to a bull market. Year-to-date movements have been pretty high. And if we're talking about the year-to-date, because it's just Jan 13, we're simply talking about less than 2 weeks worth of movements. And these rallies are pretty much a function of strong short covering. Take a look at the movements this year. Amongst the e-commerce names, it's not a doubt that the strongest moves have been the Chinese stocks, specifically Alibaba rallying 28% year to date. You've got Wayfair, which was your furniture name, dropping 75% last year. This year to date, rallying 28%. Ocado, which is in London, was down 47% last year. Well, actually, it was basically these stocks are down further last year. And because of the year-to-date gains, then that yearly drop has been trimmed. You're seeing actually the strongest movements for the highest short covering names. We've got that move on Wayfair, Ocado, Mercado Libre, Pinduoduo, Farfetch. Be careful of these types of moves, guys. In China, aside from Alibaba, you've got Baozun rallying 40%, the AKA Shopify of China. Most of these stocks, guys, are having problems in terms of earnings. Be careful, junk stock rallying. You've got fast food names, especially names that have been specifically down 90% from its peak. You've got Oatly Group rallying 50%, plant-based names like Beyond Meat up 30%. Red Robin Gourmet Burgers up 50% year to date. Shake Shack 30% up. Dutch Bros up 25%. Careful on these types of year to date movements. 1 month Oatly is up 100%. Huyan Doyu, Chinese names in the live streaming game field, up 40% for the month, up 20% each year to date. In terms of Chinese names, you really got a lot of movements. 100% move for Dada Nexus. This went from $3 off the lows to about as high as $14 so far. So the year-to-date gains there are not just simply, actually the year-to-date gains there are just a function of 2 weeks. So it really tells you how wild the movements are in these short covering rallies for the last 2 weeks. We note that there was a rally since December 29. And it got further reinforced January 6. And there was more indication of rallying due to last night's CPI coming in soft, January 12. Take note, though, that Jan 13, which is tonight, you've got earnings, which will actually either prolong this rally further or it can actually mark a significant top on some names. So tonight is actually a critical night because the banks will actually dictate a lot of sentiment or a lot of profit taking, either to continue higher or to go lower. So be careful. But you're seeing actually very strong movements on Chinese names. Minimum rally in the last 2 weeks, 20% for Huya, Melco 20%, MGM China, which is a casino name, 25%. And take note, these are strong movements apart from rallying quite significantly. MGM was up already 100%, more than 200% actually from their lows. You've got, in the last 3 months, these stocks are up 200% since October 25 Hu Jintao event. You've got the Chinese bulls actually rallying 37% as a whole index. You've got, well, actually the index of Hang Seng is up 47%, nearing 50%, from 14,000 low to about 22,000 near highs. So be pretty careful about these year-to-date movements. As we said, Bed Bath & Beyond rallying 500% and 50% daily moves, 300% weekly moves. We're not here to consider shorting them, but we're just here to require caution because the last time these things happened in August, that marked the top. Around August 2021, 2022, these types of movements have happened, and it actually precipitated quite a sharp drop. You've got August going down till June and July, 2 months of really nasty 50 to 60% drops. We're talking about Bed Bath & Beyond going from $30 to as low as a quick drop to about $10, and then of course it fell to $1, and now it's like trading in the bankruptcy situation from $1 to $5. Whether it goes to about $10, it's really a game of who knows. It's a game of what's gonna happen with these bankruptcy stocks, but definitely a lot of craze in meme stocks precipitated by Bed Bath & Beyond. You've got Party City moving about 100% in a single week, sometimes happening 100% a single day. The kind of volatility of these names after dropping 95% and beyond has become really playing like a casino every single day. You've got App Harvest year to date rallying 157%. You've got Zomedica Pharma 50%. Most importantly, take a look at the volatility. App Harvest rallying 36% in a single day, 70% in a week, 100% in a month. These types of movements are really caution because we've seen this happen in August when people actually were drinking the Kool-Aid. And August was a time when August 2022, where we've actually been meeting S&P 500 at about 4,300, 4,400, very topish. You've got this Chinese education names, which were actually rendered bankrupt by the government of China, rallying 40% year to date, 50% for the month. Coolern continues to still go strong. It's already 13x up for the year. So this went from like $4 to $60 so far, times 15 from the lows. Careful on these types of movements. Peloton is up 40% year to date. You've got Stitch Fix and the Real. All of these, if you'll notice the type of companies in the watch list that's moving very strongly for the year, these are your junk stocks. So junk stocks rallying like this is pretty much a recipe for disaster in the next coming weeks, if not months. So careful, especially when earnings comes out, because none of them can actually sustain these types of rallies when the earnings come out. It's just a good thing that the banks are the first to report and not them. You can imagine that if they report tomorrow that the market, or tonight, the market can actually falter. Ingat lang, you've got in the fintech names, obviously the leader today is Coinbase Global, up 40% for the week. But actually Coinbase moving 40% for the week is actually the kulelat when it comes to the crypto related names. You'll notice that in the crypto names, 40% for the week is like how much of a place, no? Sobrang layo versus what's been happening in your crypto miners, 200%, 100%, 80%, 50% movements. Of course, they've dropped 90, 96% drops over the last year. And so these are now becoming like penny stock plays for your crypto related names and even for your crypto exchanges. Careful, crypto miners and crypto exchanges are obviously not for the weak heart or faint hearted. Notice also that Upstart and Affirm rallying 30% for the week. That's just a few days. 30% for the week is actually equivalent to their year-to-date gains this year. You've got PaySafe doing the same thing, 55% in a month. Very much your fintech names here, which are in the buy now, pay later space, are pretty much a question mark on where the banks really will situate for this year when it comes to buy now, pay later names. You've got this year, you're seeing Solana go up 70%. You've got Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. So 2023, you're seeing quite a sharp movement. Whether these gains can be sustained, we are of the view that you have to be skeptic. So personally, we've been doing option spreads, but mainly bullish only on Tesla. We could go on and on about the fundamentals on why and the technicals on why we are bullish on Tesla. But overall, we are only bullish a few names: gold, silver, commodities, copper, not necessarily this entire market. You're seeing in the semiconductors pretty strong 20 to 40% movements on AZMR and ASML. I would have to admit that I have not studied these two names. I only usually focus my eyes when it comes to semiconductors on NVIDIA and AMD. But you'll notice that these movements are pretty much, if it's not related to earnings, since none of them have been reporting numbers, a lot of short covering happening even on semiconductor space. This is more strong. This is a stronger short covering happening right now, which are precipitated by your biotechs. Notice that the biotechs these days are moving 10, 20% a single day, 20, sometimes 200% a single week. You've got Clovis rallying 200% in a single week and rallying 200% year to date. That is a cancer related play. Oncology stock movements in the chemo related cancer plays have been pretty much in a sharp rise. And these are very much in the zone of no profits and unprofitable companies. So, the movements here of companies that are down 95% and 85% year to date last year is quite 1 year ago, is basically showing to us that bankrupt names or unprofitable names are getting quite a zombified movement these past week. Clovis up 200%, Gene DX Holdings up 85%, Predictive Oncology, PacBio, Vine Bio rallying 20 to 100, 200%. Movements in a single week. These type of movements, guys, are not normal. These are movements that are happening like a last puff before they basically file for bankruptcy. Notice that Clovis is down 90%, 98% over the last 3 years. Your Vine Bio is down 96% for the last 3 years. These are pretty sharp movements, but basically it's like $100 going $1, $1 rallying to about $2 in a single day. It's still down 98%. You're seeing that movement in RC Moto, 96% down for the last year, up 60%. So that means it went as low as 99% down at some point. These types of movements, guys, even in the solar space, are pretty magnanimous. This week, actually, it was quite a magnanimous move for Jinko Solar, Canadian Solar, a lot of your solar names, despite no specific news on the solar space, guys. Careful on these types of names, especially when we're rallying, mostly led by the market junk stocks. So these are a huge short covering happening in your marketplace. 18 to 20% rallies for a single day for your RC Moto and CleanSpark, despite the fact that they're also the largest losers since last year. So careful. You'll notice that usually in our experience, these require caution. This is similar really to what happened in August 2022. Take a look at Arrival Vault, also in those penny stock names, moving in a day 100%, in a week 170%, year to date up 200%, QuantumScape rallying 35%, Skills Platform rallying 33%. The sharper the sell-offs, the stronger the bounces. Even your Carvana, I believe, is rallying 30, 40% in a single day. These types of movements are a function of a very strong short covering. Even in your connected TVs, the sharpest moves year to date have happened for names that we know are having a hard time when it comes to their revenues and earnings. You've got Curiosity Stream. Although Warner Brothers could be an exception to the rule, I believe Warner Brothers Discovery had 2 upgrades this year. I'm not pretty sure. I'm not so sure whether Warner Brothers Discovery's losses are narrowing. But yeah, there's some movement you'll notice in the smallest cap companies. So the small cap streaming names like Curiosity Streaming, Warner Brothers Discovery, AMC Entertainment, Roku, and Fubo rallying about 20 to 40% year to date. And guys, these year to date gains are just happening in 13 days, actually less than 2 weeks. That's why be careful, because the next 2 weeks might not be very kind, not unless they really have good numbers to put up. You've got your ARVR, your wearables are rallying pretty substantial this year. Copen and Vuzi rallying from the dead 40%. You've got Tobii rallying 40%, Exo Bionics rallying 50%. Even your fitness app, Peloton, is rallying 40% year to date. You may not know what these names are specifically because they are small companies, and the small companies or even the OTC names or over the counter names are rallying pretty well. Small caps or SPACs like App Harvest now rallying 157% year to date. Drone Delivery 65%, eHang, Exobionics 50% each. Nuve Holdings, Curus, Agrify, so Hexo, which is a cannabis name. Even GBTC, which is like filing, I think, which is getting like filing for bankruptcy for Digital Currency Group, is rallying 26%. When you see types of movements like this, guys, it doesn't make you bullish. This actually makes you more scared and very careful. Ouster, some of your SPACs are rallying 10% in a single day. Ouster and Veldine Lider are rallying 30-40% this year, happening also even for the likes of Hyzon Motors, Lucid. As a while ago, I just said Arrival USA is like up 200%. You've got Berkshire Grey rallying 100% in this just 2 weeks alone. You've got Original Bark rallying 50%. Even your space-related names, which have no clear-cut profitability yet, Virgin Galactic rallying 30%, Astra Space 30%. A lot of your 3D printing names like Markforged, Desktop Metal rallying 20%, 3D Systems, Stratasys. Ingat lang, these types of movements are not really conducive for your. These types of movements are not conducive for ordinary folks. You can get burned in these types of names. eVTOLs or electric vehicle takeoff landing, it has been moving up year to date. Archer, EHang, 40-50%. We're just here, guys, to give you recaps. Airlines, we have American Airlines actually reporting pretty strong numbers. So we could argue that this was a strong run up based on reopening related names. And so far, the airlines as a whole have rallied quite substantially before the numbers are released. So United Airlines 36% up, Delta Airlines up 20%, some hospitality hotel trusts like Ashford up 28% after dropping 98% over the last 3 years. You've got companies like Expedia, Airbnb rallying 15%. You've got hotels like Intercontinental, Host Hotels, not really that strong, but basically up 10% as well. Expedia, Booking, rallying 10 to 20%. I would like to actually show to you that, of course, with these earnings season, guys, wait lang. There is a question, but I can't answer that question. That's not a US name. There's a question here. I'm stuck with Phoenix prefers. Do I hodl or take a 50% loss? Generally speaking, if you are at a loss, I normally think that if I can deploy my money elsewhere, I will deploy it. So if I were somebody stuck with a loss and I find it not going to move anyway, I'd rather take the loss. There's also a question, is the bottom in or could there be a 20 to 30% downside looming? The last time we saw these types of rallies, guys, we actually saw quite a cataclysmic fall. Let me show to you the exact movement last August, specifically, don't drink the Kool-Aid. There's actually some poison happening here. I'll repeat the August 17, 2022, in case that you have forgotten. Let me show to you that exact recipe then, which actually precipitated quite a huge fall, guys. On August 17, 2022, we warned people not to drink the Kool-Aid. We saw during that time, guys, the markets were rallying heavily. You've got actually Bed Bath & Beyond rallying like nowadays. And then you've pretty much been seeing divergences, no? You've got the same thing, AST Space Mobile. Although this AST Space Mobile practically went even as high as $20 before falling, let me show you the actual movements of these stocks, all right? There was even a time when Andreessen Horowitz also were investing in Adam Newman's real estate company yet again. And if you actually took a look at WeWork went from like $40 billion to $1 billion. It's like a company that you would have lost 99% of your money. So be careful about these types of things, guys. You've got these types of rallies. As I said a while ago, these rallies nowadays, notice Stitch Fix here went from $4 to $8.56. Nowadays, it's these types of names that are rallying yet again, similar to what's happened last August 2022. Let me show you the exact movements of what transpired if you unfortunately go FOMO into these types of names. Let me show you what exactly happened there. So if you FOMO'd in August 2022, which was the worst time for you to FOMO, here your Stitch Fix around August 17 was as high as 8.5, only to drop all the way down towards $2. Nowadays, after falling 70% nonstop from about $2 here for Stitch Fix, it is rallying towards $4.31. That, guys, is an area for resistance yet again. It's very quick. The answer here, guys, is that there is more downside looming. In fact, if you take a look on our Twitter here, we will show you that in our profiles and open positions, we have actively been advocating, guys, that you have to be very careful of volatility, especially on this earnings season. And we are only confident in a few names, specifically bullish on Tesla. And I think that we have been very clear that you want to be in high quality names only, especially in a bear market. With Tesla, we are confident that we are okay buying it at 110, 115, $100, 105, 120. Even if you say $100 can be broken, I can clearly tell you it's not going to be as easy to let it drop to 90 or 70 without a fight, especially with all the anecdotes happening in mega pack margins, especially if you study the fundamentals nowadays that the price cuts in China are getting 30,000 orders in a single day in China, which has about 125,000 of deliveries in a single quarter. So that's quite significant. We cannot say the same thing fundamentally for other names that are rallying today. So be very careful. You've got, let me show you how these names today that are rallying 100, 200%, it is quite a copycat with what happened with August. In August 2022, specifically August 16, August 17, look at the movements, guys. Fubo goes from 4 to 8 in a single day. Your Bed Bath & Beyond goes from 15 to 30 in a single day. Some of these are happening in a single day, these are daily changes. You've got Apron going from 4 to 6, Big 5, 13 to 16. Do you want to see where it is now? Upstart went from 32 to 38 to 40. It went as low as $9 to $10. Let me show you the movements, guys. Look at the August. That was the FOMO chase for all these types of names. Upstart went into a dizzying short covering move here in August, going 37. That was the exact top. From about 37, it fell all the way down 70% here towards $12, and now rallying back to 18. Even if this goes 25 for Upstart, it's not gonna be pretty. Guys, we're talking about names that are rallying nowadays with 100% movements. We are gonna show you App Harvest rallying 157%. These happened also, take note here, June, July, around August, this stopped at $5. $5 dropping straight down the hole towards 50 cents. And then rallying from 50 cents to $1.50. There's a lot of names like these, guys, in the USA. And if you aren't careful, these types of names are actually a warning. That's why our title in August was Do Not Drink the Kool-Aid. These types, These are where your people get FOMO in and they get killed. So be careful because it's what's happening yet again this earnings season. Now, let's talk about this earnings season very quickly, guys. We said that today, Jan 13, is very important. Before the market opens, you've got the bellwether stocks reporting. You've got the big names like Bank of America, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, United Health Group, Bank of New York, Mellon, BlackRock, First Republic Bank, Delta Airlines, that's pretty much booked. So in terms of these types of names, obviously the banks would give you at least an idea on where the stocks this week will be. Of course, if JP Morgan manages to rally, that means that your 4,000 SPY can still rally further and grind higher towards 4.1 or 4.2. Let me show to you guys what we are advising the ones who are following us on Twitter and actively also in Awesome10X. So here, I'll show to you the exact positions due to potential volatility. Take note, earnings season is not gonna be an easy time for everyone. This is why I decided to have 90% cash but 10% options exposure with a bet bullish on where? Silver, such as AG and PAAS. We've been bullish on commodities, and you'll notice how different the movements are. If you are in a bullish trend, you will not go up 40% in a single day. You make that 40% after a baseline move. This went from $6 higher lows to 6.5, higher lows to 7.5, higher lows here at about $8.20. You do it step by step. You don't like rally pretty wildly, but it's sustainable. So your AG is actually in the cusp of a very strong downtrend reversal, and we are on the uptrend here for your silver. And it's very clear when you take a look at Silver Trust, it's been up from about $16 to 23. You can see that silver as an ounce has rallied from where? $18 to 24. So pretty clear if your commodity is rallying, your silver is rallying, therefore your silver mines are also undervalued, such as AG and PAAX, which are your largest silver mines in Asia, in the US. You've got this PAAX, same thing. We are bullish here. And you can see that I've been bullish. Actually, since last year, we've been discussing about commodities being a bullish play for your year. And we executed that. For AG bull spread, pretty clear. We've been explaining how to make debit spreads. You can see that with a $76 position, which is less than 1% of my portfolio, I can risk $76 and I could potentially win as much as, if you notice, 10 minus 8, that is 2. $200 minus 76, I can potentially make $124 or an unrealized PNL if I'm going to hold this AG all the way to 10 on February 17, 2023. It can go as high as 150%. So basically, if you bet $76, if I have 4 positions here, that means that $400 if ever I'll make. Okay, something like that. This is a BHP bull spread. And the reason why we've, for the clients of Awesome10X, we explain the fundamentals why we're bullish on copper and gold and iron, ore, and steel. You can clearly see that, of course, BHP in your Australia, this is the largest Australian company, BHP. And you can see that is a very clear breakout. I mean, every technician in the world can see that. You can also see that copper as a whole is in a very strong uptrend. Take a look at copper. For the year, for the week, copper has gone up 6.75%. For the month of January, 7%, clawing from its losses last year, which is still down 5%. So year on year, copper has been really on the uptrend, and it's a function of electrification because you will need more copper for every electric vehicle. There's a question, how about COMT, commodity dynamic role strategy? I'm not familiar, so I couldn't really comment on the question. But when it comes to commodities, we've been stock specific. We've been bullish on BHP. Whether in Australia or, of course, it's also listed in New York Stock Exchange. So New York Stock Exchange is just about to break out to all-time highs here. As this is, of course, in New York, which is based in dollar. But based in Australia, it's already at all-time highs. But you can clearly see that even from a month-on-month, week-on-week, the beautiful thing about PHP is solid balance sheet and just trading at about less than 10 times multiple. So these are multi-year breakouts that you have to watch out for. BHP, which also pays a huge dividend. Another thing, so we said bullish on AG, PHP, PAS. There's a strong profitability component here. And for those who are engaged with options debit spreads, you and I both know that this is actually a lower risk compared to actually engaging with stocks. We already explained that debit spreads or bullish debit spreads or bearish debit spreads, whether you're bullish or bearish, it makes more sense. Smaller outlay in terms of capital, therefore smaller defined risk, and yet the rewards are pretty much magnanimous, if not the same. If you'll notice here in my Tesla bull spread, I am merely paying $11 here, which is $1,100 to control roughly, in my view here, I think I have 7 contracts here. So I'm paying $7,700 risk for a function to make about, well, you see $30 here. So 30 minus 11, that would be $19. So for every $10 I bet, I make about $20 if Tesla rallies from current levels to about 145. And Tesla, well, actually, I've already took profit on some Tesla positions and credit spreads. And until today, guys, we are bullish on Tesla. The earnings on Tesla will be on Jan 25. You can see that epic low from a monthly, from a weekly, from a daily. All signs are pointing for a bounce in your Tesla. And not just your technicals, but even your fundamentals are screaming a buy on Tesla, with a lot of the deliveries now happening in added production, not merely in an expansion for your gigafactory in Texas, if you've been reading that. But they are also in preliminary discussions on whether Tesla will expand 1 million cars and open a factory in Indonesia. So definitely the mega pack margins and the mega packs would actually be one of the highlights for Tesla's 2023. Something to really be taking a look at. To be fair, I have been largely exposed mostly in Tesla through bullish spreads. So this is actually a bull spread where I receive a credit, which is a sell put 115 and a buy 110 put. I'm receiving $230 here. So far, I already have an unrealized P&L 557. Usually, I take profit once it's above 50 to 60%. So some Tesla bull spreads that I've created, I actually took profit once it hit 50, 60%. Yeah, so usually I do that. And then actually for this PAS bull spread, this is already, it's already up 60% for me. But this one can rally to as high as 200%. So, and the reason how it could be is because it's simple math, no? 20 minus 17, that's 3. So 3 minus 0.94, I have an upside of 2.06. So for every $94, I can hit about $206. So for every contract, if I have about 4 contracts here, that means 4 times 206, I stand to make about $800. Usually, I usually hold until near that expiry. So this is about February, and I have no reason to basically take profit, not anytime soon. But usually around starting Feb, 2 weeks before the expiry, Feb 17, that means 2 weeks before or 3 weeks before, I can consider taking profits. So usually if it's already up 100%, even if it doesn't hit my 200% target yet, I do take profits. So actually all of these are just standing by and just holding on. Been holding that, I think, for about more than 2 weeks already. Yeah. Tesla bull spreads, I created that Jan 6. So we started giving buy ratings on Tesla January 6 with the fundamental price cuts. So we've been holding this for a week. Some of these I've been continuing to add. So you'll notice that this one I've been adding actually on the bull spread. This didn't start as just 1 contract. Nowadays it's 7 contracts. I've been adding onto it over the last 4 days. And I actually created even last night a very aggressive bull spread for Tesla, which is 140 calls, which is an OTM call, out of the money call, paying $5 only, which is $500 for a reward, let's say of 1,500, because this is 160 minus 140, that's $20. 20 minus 5 is 15. So I stand to make a $15 reward once, even if Tesla doesn't hit 160, even if Tesla just nears that 130 to 140, because obviously June is pretty much what, that's 150 days from now. um, we have actually been very transparent. You can see that we're leaning bullish mainly on just Tesla. You can see that the market is frothy, and yet there are high quality names. We believe that when the market is frothy, you don't chase or FOMO into, drinking the Kool Aid, like buy a Backed or buy those Bed Bath and Beyond. Even if Bed Bath and Beyond has been rallying what 500%, not unless you are a day trader. So these types of names like Bed Bath and Beyond, look at about August. This was also the top. The market's top for Bed Bath and Beyond around August 16, August 17. You're seeing the same thing happen nowadays. From about $5, this rally towards 30. What happened recently? Same thing. From about $1, it's now rallied to $6. Whether it rallies towards $10 is not something that I would opine, but these are for day traders. Maybe they would day trade, maybe they'll try to rally towards 9 to 10, who knows, and then maybe they'll short it there. We'll see, but it's more for a day trader's paradise. And if you're not doing day trading, you should not engage in these. What you should actually watch out for is when Bed Bath and Beyond starts dropping pretty quickly, you'll see that it's gonna be very, very fast. From about 28, it fell towards $20, and then the next day it's $10, rallies towards 16 or 15, and then the next day it goes 9, hits 7, all the way down towards 1 or 80 cents even, or $1. Careful in these types of names, because that's what's happening right now. People are drinking Kool-Aid, and nobody's actually, everyone should be terrified when you've got people drinking the Kool-Aid again. It's happened in August. It was really a frightful event, and it's happening nowadays yet again. Um, One thing that we're actually taking a look at, similar to what's happened in August, which was here around 4.3 for your SPY, you could rally here at about 400. We can still rally towards 410, guys. We can even rally towards 420. We're not going to be shy to make some bearish debit spreads when the market in SPY actually rallies here at 410. As the S&P 500 today, guys, is already trading at S&P 500 today is already trading at 17 times PE. Yung yen ETF, ang lakas. Yes, China talaga has been, China, be careful. Yen has rallied, most stocks in China has been rallying 200%. I'll show to you a while ago, I've been saying Chinese names have been pretty strong. The movements in China are also dangerous, guys. Dada has gone up from $3 to 15. So far, you can see in my charts, right? Okay, you can see in my charts, Dada was a buy pick here. We've been sharing $3.30 was a good buy for Dada, because this was a partner of JD. After rallying 200%, we were thinking, all right, that's good enough. It's rallied 500%, okay, from about $3 here to about nearing $15. I'm not here to say, no, okay, that's stoppish. Maybe it even goes 17 or 24. But these stocks in China fell, like Dada fell 95%. So it's not clear to me. Of course, I wouldn't short Dada Nexus, but these types of movements, guys, do not give me an opinion to buy. If you didn't buy low in Chinese names, you should not chase. Chasing now and FOMOing into the market when it's actually as stoppish as August 2022, you could actually prepare yourself for an 80% meltdown, which actually happened for some of these names. I mean, if you find yourself caught in case the Chinese stocks suddenly fall, which is partly happening, there is already some profit taking happening in China. It's gonna be nasty. So the play to make in the markets is you either choose high quality. What we're doing is we're choosing high quality. We're choosing really bullish Tesla, high quality name. Bullish commodities, high quality energy plays, and then we are highly holding cash. Because if you're in options, you basically can play your 10% options position can make 20% of your portfolio, guys. That's what you should know. Of course, if you risk 10% of your exposure, I usually take a cut loss of 50%. So if that means that I'm currently 10% long in options, I stand to lose 5% if I'm wrong. If let's say Jan 25, my Tesla position suddenly goes south. What if Tesla drops somehow yet again? I am willing and prepared to take a loss on that. But you can see that it's a measured loss. Of course, it will still hurt to lose 5% of your exposure. And we're talking about portfolio here. If your portfolio is like $100,000, losing 5,000 is going to hurt, right? But it's not as bad as, say, well, from a risk reward, I'm risking 5K to make 20K. So for me, it's still a risk reward play. I could stand to make 20K. So like my 100K can make 20,000 in January 25. So that's why I've been holding on to my positions. And of course, there's an open unrealized gain so far. That's how to play your options. Yeah, so we've been doing that with Tesla. We didn't just go Tesla long. We've been going long 1.5x bull on Tesla, which is TSLL. I've been buying this about $5.45. You'll see the strong entry was here, Jan 6, specifically Jan 6. So January 6, I bought there at the highs of 5.4 on that day. And then I proceeded to just hold on to it. All my bull spreads for TSLL. So been holding on TSLL, aka Tesla bull spreads. Been adding and adding more. That's why you're seeing that from a percentage basis, it doesn't look big. But even a 5% move is already $200. So if this goes like say 50% up, I'm gonna be $2,000 up on this bull spread specifically. So I've been adding on to this position. Pretty huge, I know. In one account, yeah, so mostly just Tesla bull spread. I'm also a little bit of a skeptic on your Nvidia. Your semiconductors are actually getting a lot of insider selling, and of course the market's rallying. That's why it's rallying too. But just like your SPY, I'm actually on the cautious note because your Nvidia can be toppish here at $190. So we're about 165. If this rallies back towards 186, this looks to me to be an area for me to make a bear spread. So I'm looking to actually short Nvidia if this rallies near 190, a cheap bear spread. Maybe I'll make a $500 risk for that. And that means that for SOXS, if Nvidia rallies like that, that means that your SOXS can go as low as $25 or $20. So I'm looking at potential buys here. So I'm tranching. I'm looking to buy SOXS here about 25 actually. So starting last night, I started buying some SOXS bull spreads. That one here, I'm still down because I'm still starting, just 1% position. So yeah, and I'm starting to nibble into some SOXS bull spreads while holding Tesla and Tesla bulls. And then the rest you can see it's just cash because it's very, this is actually already the most bullish account that I've got, which is, if you'll notice, this is like 50% all in Tesla lang. And then some BHP, diba? 17 plus 12, that's 30%. Sorry, yeah, 30%, 40%, 48%. It's like all Tesla. And these bull calls are pretty much out of the monies right now, no? 115, 120, 130. But yeah, I just think that in a bear market, you have to be very selective. You have to choose your battles. And I'd rather choose my battle to be mostly Tesla. So even in my eToro account, guys, I just was, where do I park my cash? High quality name, which is Tesla. Tesla's giving you a chance. I bought it at about 111 here. Then I made times 2 for this one. So I wanted to lever it up. So I have like 100, like 50% of my account total investment is just in Tesla. Then I'll just use the 50% for volatility. Whether I can get Tesla cheaper or if I can get Tesla cheaper, I'd rather hold cash, no? So I was actually preparing if ever Tesla hits $100 yet again, that I get to buy. But obviously after Jan 6, it just went up and up and up. So possible na I don't get to buy Tesla anymore at that level, but I'm okay. My target for Tesla is 150 to 160. So generally speaking, yun yung place that we've been making. I know that usually I'm not concentrated, pero at these levels talaga, when the market is showing you junk stocks rallying pretty wildly, and you've got quality names, actually high quality names that are, trading with a margin of safety, best to actually, ako personally, I'd rather put my money in cash and in high quality. Cash, pays already 3.8% in IBAKR. May idle balance interest yan. Every month, binabayaran ka. As long as it's above $10,000 of idle balance. So, there's quite a lot. Imagine mo, if you have a $100,000 account, yung 90K mo, kumikita na ng 3.8% yun. Sabihin na natin, 3%. So, you're making about $2,700 in that cash. Tapos yung 10,000 mo, yun lang yung risk mo. Of course, your 10,000 is not gonna go zero, guys. Your 10,000, we manage it with a stop. Syempre, the pinaka max na if you're not managing your risk, 50% stop loss ka dyan. So your 10,000, you're risking 5K. Pero kumikita ng $3,000 dun sa IBKR idle balance mo eh. So technically, from a yearly perspective, you just try to make that trade na every 5K mo, you'll make 10, 20K. Your system is supposed to be profitable for you. So actually, been doing these debit spreads, credit spreads, mataas yung payoff kapag meron ka talagang edge. And nowadays, malaki yung edge. Hindi ka late. Kumbaga, late ka na sa China. If you've been doing China bull spreads 2 months ago, 3 months ago, by now, you should be profit taking. Nasa mga 100, 200, 300% up ka na. Whereas today, the play to make today is Tesla. Whether you believe me or not, it is a Tesla bull. I didn't explain to you guys why we are long Tesla, but okay, I'll be very quick. We've been talking about a lot on Tesla, no, Tesla deep dives, battery suppliers, just a few things, no. You should know that the energy business will be larger than the automotive business of Tesla. And it's about to happen 2023. So nobody really cares about 4Q 2022, what's going to happen to the vehicle deliveries. The biggest things would be the Tesla Mega Pack, which is the massive energy storage. And the Lathrop, California can now produce these 40 GWh. So 40 GWh, that's about 10,000 of that, 10,000 units in a year. And they can sell all of that. The future of your renewable energy, large scale energy storage. And everyone who ordered that is happy. We have Texas, you've got Alaska, you've got Australia ordering more, guys. Kauai Island already had it since 2017. They didn't suffer any brownouts because of that. This mega pack factory in California is producing 40 GWh annually. That's 10,000 units. And if you take a look, no, how many units did they deploy over the last quarter? In Q3 2022, in terms of megawatts, they just deployed about 2,100 megawatts, no? And that was already a double from 1,000 to 2,000. So this forecast of just making 2,700 megawatts to get deployed this year, that's actually pretty small. Kasi they might actually hit 4,000 or more. There's significant there's significant upside in the mega packs and even in your cars. Even if you take a look at the movements ever since the price cuts. We kept on discussing Tesla in my Twitter, and I'm talking about it now to you because, and you have to be bullish in commodities pretty much because all the electric vehicles will require, whether it's just Tesla or BYD, all of them will require more copper, more lithium, more nickel, more steel, more iron ore. You basically have well, you've got of course the penetration rate in China rallying, and you've got the discounts really having an effect. The price cut discounts has delivered Tesla at least 10,000 vehicles in just the first day of price cut on Jan 6. And then 3 days after, 30,000 orders. That's significant, guys. Since Jan 6 lang yung price cut. The actual buy rating of Tesla was Jan 6. It wasn't Jan 3, Jan 4, Jan 5. It's very clear. January 6 was the time that Tesla bottomed. Now, you're hearing this a week after. You might say, Nikki, I'm late. Jan 6 ka bumili. Technically, you're not. Jan 13, where is Tesla? Still 120 bucks. It came from 200 just a month ago. Now, I'm not saying that it will go 200 bucks. Probably will rally dead cut bounce 150. But this is a high quality name that you've got Fonda. You've got limited downside. You really have sales ramping up. And this is a stock that, you know, any FANG name would recognize. What would be your downside risk? If you're wrong, your downside risk may be 100. So the way I assess it, sure, I can risk about $20 to make $40, right? I'd rather, of course, it would have been better if you just risk 10 bucks and make 40. 1:4 yun. So when we were betting aggressively on Tesla, 1:4 yung risk reward. 110, take a risk. I'm not sure if you can get 110 na. Baka hindi ka makakuha ng 110. But even at 113, 115, 117, 118, we kept on saying the risk is still low versus your potential reward. Now, of course, if you're thinking naman on a decade time frame, you know, I was saying, I'm not gonna bet against Elon. I'm not gonna bet against Tesla Corporation. This is a high quality company that can reach that 300 to 400 within a decade's time. The current all-time high of Tesla is 400 bucks. If you're gonna ask me which name, John, you have high confidence within a decade's time that will break out before the next 10 years na talaga mag all-time high, it's gotta be Tesla. It's not. I mean, at 350 billion, you're just asking me whether Tesla can hit $1 trillion within 10 years time, and that business in Megapack can hit at least $20 billion of income in just tax credits alone. A year yun. So, you know, the more that you don't understand Tesla, the more that you've got to probably, you know, spend some time, not necessarily from us, go through some Tesla-related channels, yung mga specific Tesla channels. Check what Megapack does. What is Tesla's energy business? How strong would the production annual results be for 2023? And how would the factories deliver? You'll notice the competition of Tesla, the reason why they can slash the prices is because they produce their own batteries coming from the supply of CATL. There's also some innovation happening. If talagang nagkaroon ng sodium-ion batteries, it will reduce all your pricing for cars. What's happening is affordable cars with cheaper price and the same functionality, then the same margins for the owners, same margins for all the Tesla shareholders. Something to watch out for. China, you're late. I mean, I'm not saying that China won't go up. Alibaba can go from 120 to 140 to 150. But the upside, if you're going to bet now, you're late. You're late. You FOMO here, I'm sorry. You're like 50-50. Whereas if you bet on high quality names, we're telling you already. We did the research. Check out Tesla. We're not even telling you to do it without putting own money. This is in your face. We placed this real money here. These are not virtual accounts. Bull spreads on Tesla, TSLL, BHP. Every position there is just long Tesla. Every position, just long Tesla, high quality name. Then you can argue, I don't believe in Tesla. Fine. Not everybody believes. But to me, You take a risk and you accept the risk. You know what your risks are and you should know your rewards. Um, I didn't choose any FANG name. You might say, why not Apple? Why not Amazon? Why not Google, Microsoft, et al.? They do not represent cheap enough. In fact, Amazon can fall 50% further if you really study the numbers. Apple's not cheap here. Google and Microsoft, uh, it's iffy. To be fair, even if you ask me Disney, why not Disney? Still iffy. I'm not confident. At $96, even if it was trading at $80, 82, I was thinking, sure, this can rally 20%. But after that cut bounce, how much more? I don't know. It depends on how much their streaming businesses are actually narrowing losses. So there's quite a lot of question marks on many names. Today's banks, you can probably be neutral. Some banks I think would perform well, but some banks will not do well. So you're gonna get a mixed report. How the markets will react on earnings of banks and healthcare names, on whether the companies will actually still give a good outlook. Remember, your S&P 500 today at about 4,000, every 100 points up, which is about 2.5%, is gonna be a significant impact on all your FANG names, but not all your FANG names are safe. What are the question marks that you have to be aware of? Netflix is going to report yet again on Jan 20, Jan 19. You've got Meta, you've got Apple and Amazon reporting February 2. As I said, Tesla's going to be Jan 25. If you're not confident in what you own, earnings can actually make you surprisingly down. So be careful. Jan 13, start of earnings season. It's start of the roller coaster. The roller coaster is official now. And when we say roller coaster, prepare for movements 20% up or down, 10% up or down. No matter if that is an Amazon, no matter if that is a Tesla, be prepared for volatility. So, in some ways, because of the huge volatility of earnings season, it makes sense that some people have some cash so that they can take advantage of opportunities either on the long side or on the short side. It's not going to be a one-way street. That's what I can tell you. Careful out there. Thank you, guys.